Hello my beautiful darlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Andres, and if you're hooked on books and stitches, you've come to the right place. And welcome to episode 3 of Overbooked but Hooked. If you're not new here, you definitely know what this is all about. But if you're new here, let me give you some explanation what this series is. So last year I did a video that I counted my entire physical TBR and it turned out to be 77 books. I decided that I am not going to buy any more new books or add to my physical TBR until I take down that entire number down all the way. So kind of a TBR takedown in a sense. We've been doing pretty good so far, and how it works is I pick 6 books as a monthly TBR and I'm supposed to be dedicated to read those 6 books. But if there's any of those 6 books that I did not read, I will either unhaul them or choose to keep them for a later time to read them at a later time. And then at the end of the series, I'm going to do a huge book unhaul video so you guys see all of the books I unhauled, and then go ahead and treat myself to a nice big old book shopping haul too. And how these videos work, I always start with stats, so showing you the previous month's TBR, which books I actually read, which books are going to go in the unhaul pile. Then I'll go into my reviews, very quick rapid fire reviews about the books that I did read. Then we'll go into choosing the TBR of the month for the following month, obviously. And then I catch you in the next episode, so we do it all over again. So let's start with stats. These were the 6 books that I chose for my February TBR. And then these are the ones that I actually read. Now there's 2 books that I have not gotten to from that TBR, and I still have an interest in them. So I'm kind of conflicted on whether I'm going to unhaul them or not. Let me get them. So the first one is Beautiful Things by Emily Rath. I really do want to read this one, especially since it's Why Choose Regency, but I just didn't have the chance to get to it this month. I had other books I had to read, like for book club, and other books that I was interested in reading also. So I do have the audiobook of this one on Hoopla right now that I still have available to get to. So most likely I am going to read it maybe in the month of March, but if I don't read it in the month of March, I guess I am going to have to unhaul it. And you guys have to hold me accountable for that. So if you see that in my March wrap up, I did not read Beautiful Things by Emily Rath, you got to let me know. Hey, unhaul that bitch, because you're not going to read it. The second one is Who is Maud Dixon by Alexandra Andrews. This one I'm really looking forward to. I just learned that it's apparently like a dark comedy thriller, and I was like, you know what? I'm down. So right now I am still reading The Wedding Day by Jasmine Guillory, but as soon as I finish that one, I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into Who is Maud Dixon, because this was the next one that I was going to read regardless from the TBR list. So I can't unhaul this one because I'm going to read it. Now, Beautiful Things, we shall see. Tentatively, it's not going to the unhaul pile, but hold me accountable, guys. You have to hold me accountable. Okay, so now let's go into the review portion. Let me go into my story graph and go and see all the books that I read. I want to see with my reviews, because I know that I put the correct reviews always on my story graph, because Goodreads only lets you do full star ratings, and I don't always give full star ratings. You know, I do 0.5. I'm not too big on the 0.25 or 0.75. I feel like that's so nitpicky, but I definitely do 0.5s. So let me go into here, and I'm gonna just go in order from the beginning of the month all the way to the end. All right, so the first book in this list is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This one actually was supposed to be, not supposed to, it was a book club book that I have with one of my IRL book clubs, and this one was actually really good. Alice Feeney is rapidly becoming one of my favorite thriller authors. This one was your typical domestic thriller following this couple that were having marriage issues, and they decided to go vacation in the Scottish Highlands and stay at some church of a sense. But they decided to go there, to try to rekindle their marriage and try to work on their problems and things like that. As soon as they get there, things start getting a little suspicious. People are not really who they say they are, and things just go downhill from there, honestly. I feel like the plot twist was massive. I actually was really shocked, and I enjoyed the plot twist. This book is really big on unlikable characters, all throughout. From the main characters to the side characters, they were all very, very fucking unlikable, let me tell you. But I feel like that was the major Like the number one thing that I liked the most about the book. So yeah, Rock, Paper, Scissors was really good, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I rated it 4 stars. The next book that I read was Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This was actually a buddy read that I did with one of my friends from Bookstagram called Poppy. I'll put her link and her handle and all those good stuff here on screen and on the description box for you guys, so you guys go ahead and check her page out. She posts a lot of cute stuff and her journal spread is always so cute. But yeah, this was a buddy read with her and I really enjoyed this book to the umpteenth. I read One Dark Window back in May of 2025 and I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I think I rated it, it was a 4 star, I think it was, or maybe even 3.5. I feel like it was pitched to me as a romantasy, but I feel like the fantasy took over the romance. Like the romance was kind of more of a subplot because I didn't really feel the connection between Raven and Elspeth. It was a completely different feeling for Two Twisted Crowns in my opinion. I feel like the romance in Two Twisted Crowns is not Raven and Elspeth, I will tell you that. It's 2 other characters that I don't want to say because it's a spoiler in a sense, and I was so shocked and surprised that they were the couple of the book. But anyways, the romance in Two Twisted Crowns was so much more prominent. You could really feel the connection there and like the yearning between the two and the tension that they had. Like it was so good. And besides the romance, the actual like fantasy element of just the whole Shepherd King duology of the Providence cards and all that is really good. And then obviously my baby boy, the Nightmare, like come on now. Like who does not like the Nightmare? He's such a sassy little thingamajig. I don't even know what to describe him, but he is like iconic for me and I love him so much. And I feel like I grew to love him even more in Two Twisted Crowns because you actually get his backstory and how he became the way that he was at that point in time in the actual current time that the book was taking place. And, you know, the whole shebang. It gives you all of his backstory and it's so good. I feel like I'm going to be recommending book 2 for like ever because book 1 is good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is good. But book 2, in my opinion, is a lot better. Rachel Gillig's writing style, how she's able to make that dark gothic atmosphere really come to life and make you feel like you're in that world while you're reading is top tier, like so good. My only qualm with the book was that I wanted more Raven and Elspeth since they were the main couple from book 1, but it's honestly okay. Like whatever, I just overlooked it because we did get some of it at the end, but I just feel like I wanted more. All in all, I rated that one 4.5 stars. The next book that I read was Nights in Rothanthi by Nicholas Sparks. I know, I actually read it. The only main reason why I read it is because I got the audiobook for it through Hoopla. It was a really short book, you know, like I said in the last video, it was under 200 pages. The audiobook was only like 4 hours, I think it was. And that wasn't even at like the 2x speed. So I listened to it in one day and oh man, I had my feelings as to why I didn't want to read it. So the story is following, it starts out by showing this like storyline between a mom and a daughter, and the daughter's coming to meet with the mom, and the mom is, you know, is obviously older. Like she's already like in her 60s, I want to say, and daughter was like in her late 20s, early 30s, something like that. But she wanted to tell her a story that she had never told her daughter before, basically. And the story, and then we go to the past and we see that she went to this inn in Rothanthi, I think it's South Carolina, don't quote me, I might be wrong on that. But she went to go check into this inn, not check in, but she was like taking care of the inn because this was owned by one of her best friends that needed to go do something. So she was just caring for the inn. And then there's this guy that came to stay at the inn because he had like some meeting with some important person, but also he was like on the way to go meet his son that he hasn't seen in many years. They meet in the inn, they create a relationship out of nowhere, and they are instantly fucking like head over heels, falling in love within like 3 days. Me personally, I'm not a big insta-love type of person. When I saw how quickly they fell in love, that was like one of my biggest turnoffs. And the love story was just, it did not hit the way that I was thinking it would, especially with Nicholas Sparks, because I've read other books by him, but this was just different. It just did not hit the way that I thought it would. The little plot twist slash resolution at the end was like kind of weird to me. Like I was like, oh wow, like really we went down this super cliche realm. Okay, like I don't know, If it wasn't for that audiobook, I probably would have DNF'd it or I wouldn't have read it, honestly. But all in all, the book, I gave it a 2-star. Like, for what it was decent, but it was not my favorite for sure. The next one I read was Fake Empire by C.W. Farnsworth. This one was surprisingly really good. I don't know why I had the feeling that this was like a dark romance slash mafia thing, but it definitely was not. It was just a regular contemporary romance, but it's basically between the female main character and the male main character. They both are part of very wealthy families that are well known in New York City for having these very important businesses, and they get arranged into a marriage of convenience. But of course, you know, they get married for the convenience aspect, but they start falling in love, of course, too. And I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. Not that I didn't think I was gonna like it, I just had a different notion for it. But once I figured out like where the storyline was going and how it was progressing, the writing style was really well done. I also did this through audio / read it physically, and it was so good. Like, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this. And there is a book 2. I don't think book 2 follows the same couple. I'm pretty sure that it's like an interconnected standalone situation, but I am kind of interested in reading book 2. I'm pretty sure it's called Real Regrets, but I'm putting it here on screen for you guys to know, just in case I don't know. It's on Kindle Unlimited too, just in case. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. All in all, this one I rated it 4 stars. The next book I read was another book club book from my IRL book club, and that one was Enigma by Runix. This one was interesting. So this is like a dark academia, dark fantasy romance book for sure. And we're following this girl that she recently just lost her dad and, well, her sister primarily, but her dad had passed away not too long ago as well. And they're part of like this very prestigious family as well. And the girl had a legacy to go to a specific school called Mortimer, I believe it was called, university. In the university, they're known for having like a secret society that is doing things that they should not be doing, basically. My biggest problem with this book was that there was a mystery element to it the entire time that was actually like, you know, pretty interesting. And I wanted to find out what the hell was going on with this and what was going to be the resolution. But when we got the resolution at the end, it was literally one chapter and like on the same page resolution type shit. Like, you were reading, like shit was going down on the left page, but then on the right page, all of a sudden everything was fixed and that's it. Like, I was like, that is such a quick resolution. Like, I feel like it got completely sidetracked and muddled because it became like a dark romance, and it was so heavily focused on the romance on the second half. Like, the whole first half was strictly like mystery. Like, we got some of the romance here and there, but it was strictly mystery. And then the second half, it completely changed course. It was only focused on the couple, and there were so many extra things that I feel like just didn't make sense to be put into the story. Like, I feel like the actual smutty scenes were added in there just because the author kind of wanted to make this a dark romance smutty book. And I get that if you are going to do that, just keep it strictly smut. Don't also give me some other plot line that I'm going to be invested in, that I'm going to want to find out more about. And I want a strong see-through line and resolution at the end. But I don't know. Unfortunately, like, it really did not hit the way that I wanted it to. The romance was decent. I did like the couple for the most part. I really was not against them. Unfortunately, because of the mystery plot line getting lost and muddled all the way until the end, I did rate it 3 stars. The next book I read was The Shattered King by Charlie N. Holmberg. And this was another book club pick for one of my IRL book clubs as well. This one was the one with my mom. And wow. I am obsessed, gooped and gagged, couldn't believe what I read. From the beginning of this book, I was hooked, honestly. Like, the storyline was so good. We're following this girl, Nim. She gets conscripted. She gets called. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. She gets called to go to the palace to heal the prince, which is one of the heirs to the throne. She gets called to go over there because also she is a healer. At the beginning, they start as enemies, and he doesn't want her touching him, and she doesn't want to help, but she's forced to because she was called by the king and queen to heal him. You know, they start as a little bit of an enemy situation, and then they become lovers. And if you know me, I love a good enemies to lovers trope. especially in romantasy, bitch, especially in romantasy. I don't want to say anything else. You know, it kind of goes from there, develops from there. And, you know, there's obviously a third act conflict that leads into that there's a book 2. It literally leaves you at such a good cliffhanger. And I found out when I finished that book 2 comes out this upcoming Tuesday, March 3rd. And I was like, you could bet your sweet bottom dollar that I'm gonna be reading it on release day. So if you cannot tell from this whole review and how I've been literally gooped and gagged and super obsessed, I rated it 5 stars. I am still working through the wedding date. I started it like, I think it was it last night? Or like 2 nights ago. I started it and I'm only like 50 pages in. So, you know, I'm not really far into it just yet, but I definitely will be finishing it soon, most likely this weekend. So I'm gonna count it for my February wrap up. I'm not gonna give you a review just cause I haven't finished it, but so far from the jump, you know, literally from the first chapter, it was a little cringy, like just a little cringy, but I am enjoying the female main character. You know, I really like the type of person that she is. I really am enjoying like the banter that she has with her sister, and then with the male main character. I don't really like the male main character all that much. I'm seeing how it goes because it's hard for me to read a romance where I don't like the male main character because I have to have some type of connection there, you know, for me to actually want to read through the story. But that's neither here nor there. I'm still reading. I'm still going through with it. I will definitely put it here on screen once I do finish my official rating, or if I do enough to. Okay, and then at the very final one from this review section, I'm so sorry that it's a little long, but the last one is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. And this was a very tough read, guys. Holy shit. We start off in this crazy scenario where the female main character is like being held hostage and she doesn't know where she is and what is happening, who the people are around her, and the people around her are literally like torturing her and doing unspeakable things to her. Like the mental anguish that this poor girl is going through and everything that they put her through in part 1 is like insane, guys. Like it was really hard for me to read through part 1, and part 2 changed. You know, there was a change of pace, and we kind of went back in the past to understand how we got to where we were at in part 1. And I enjoyed part 2 a lot more, and part 3 was, you know, a decent resolution, but I really struggled to read this book. It took me the entire month of February to finish it, and if it wasn't for the audiobook, I feel like I may have put it on pause, like done a soft DNF on it or something. Honestly and truly, please check trigger warnings before going into Alchemized. I think like my biggest thing was that obviously it's supposed to be like a fan fiction of a sort from Harry Potter between Hermione and Draco Malfoy, and I feel like that was one thing that was kind of distracting for me because I kept trying to compare Harry Potter to this book, trying to see like which character would be the character from Harry Potter and things like that. I feel like I shouldn't have done that, but it was kind of hard when you go into a book knowing these things already because of all of those things, and part 1 being so emotionally draining. I rated it a 3.5 star. But now it's time to pick the March TBR. All right, so I like to start picking first and foremost a book for my 12 picks for 2026. If you haven't seen that video, I'll definitely go ahead and link it up above and down below for you guys so you can check it out. But I've already read 2 of the 12 that I had that I have on my list. And for the month of March, I've decided to go with Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. So this is literally a mammoth of a book too, but I'm so excited. As you can tell, I have the pretty new 20th year anniversary edition that David got for me for Christmas. I am obsessed with these books and the way that they look on my shelves. And I know that this is supposed to be Twilight, but in reverse, like being told from Edward's POV. So I'm super excited about that. And let's turn it around, 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 turn it around. All right, so now that it has been spun around, let's get in here and pick the first one. If you are not new here, you know that I am infamous for showing you guys my little picks upside down. This looks like it's upside down, so I'm already gonna flip it around. Lightning. So my first pick is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Let me get it. All right, so first pick is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is a thriller. I'm really excited. This would be my first Lisa Jewell, and I heard that it is a good one, so I'm intrigued and I'm excited. All right, let's pick number 2. Let's mix it up again. All right, and now let's pick in here. Let's try to go in there deep. Okay, this one. I don't think that's upside down. So book number 2 is, that was upside down. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. All right, so book number 2 is another thriller. Oh shit, is March gonna be the thriller month? All right, let's pick number 3 out of 6. All right, and let's try to get in there. I like to pick from the bottom if possible, but this jar doesn't let me sometimes. So let's go with this one. Hopefully that's not upside down. I don't think it is, right? I don't think that's upside down. Book number 3 is Hazel Thorne by C.G. Drews. Oh my god, I'm excited for this one. So this is definitely a horror, I'm pretty sure. I read Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, and that one was really good. I'm so excited for this one, oh my god. All right, let's pick number 4. See, let's go with this one. I hope it's not upside down, but let's see. Book number 4 is Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I read that one already. I should have checked the jar before I did that. Okay, so this is not gonna count because I already read this book. So this goes tossed, and let's repick for book number 4 because I didn't even know that I had a book that I had already read in my jar. I'm so sorry. But let's see. Let's go with this one right here. Okay, so this should be not upside down. So book number 4 is going to be May the Best Man Win by Z.R. Elore. I know that this is a romance. It's a YA romance. And it's actually between a trans man and just a regular cis man, I believe it is. I'm pretty excited about it, but I know that it doesn't have the best reviews, so I'm a little nervous. I'm still gonna give it a chance, obviously, especially because of the LGBTQIA plus rep, but let's see. I'm a little nervous. All right, so let's pick number 5 now. Let's try to get in there, and let's go with, I'm trying to like not pick 80 of them. Okay, this one. All right, so I already saw it, guys. I'm actually kind of excited now. Book number 5 is going to be Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Oh my gosh. So this is actually a sci-fi. I have dabbled into sci-fi. Ooh, the camera's not gonna get that, so I'll just put it on screen. I've dabbled into sci-fi before by reading The Dream Hotel by Leila Lalami, and didn't like that one. DNF'd it actually. So I know that this is, I believe it's YA, if I'm not wrong, but I know that it has really good reviews and a lot of people like it, especially even booktubers that I watch. They've read it before and they've liked it. So I am excited, but I'm nervous. I feel like this is gonna be a determining factor if I do like sci-fi or not. So we'll see. All right, so now let's pick the last one officially for the TBR. So far we got pretty good ones, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see how the last one is gonna turn out to be. Let's see here. Let's go with this one. So book number 6 is going to be Violet Sithwaite. Oh my god, my lisp does not let me say that. So let me get the book. All right, so it's called Violet Thistlethwaite is Not a Villain Anymore by Emily Krempholtz. That cover is actually super friggin' cute. I know that it's a fantasy, but I'm not sure what it's about, and I'd rather go into it blind. So yeah, but this one is book number 6. So let's do a quick little rapid fire recap of the books that I chose for my March TBR. So the first one that I like to pick always is at least one from my 12 picks for 2026. So the first one is going to be Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. The second book on the TBR is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. The third one is Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. The fourth one is Hazel Thorne by C.G. Drews. So excited for this. The fifth one is May the Best Man Win by Z.R. Elore. The sixth one is Scythe by Neil Schusterman. And the 7th one is Violet Thistlewaite is Not a Villain Anymore by Emily Krimpholtz. So there you have it, guys. That is my February wrap up plus my March TBR Overbooked but Hooked episode 3. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite read of the month of February. I definitely have a hard time choosing which one. I am conflicted between Two Twisted Crowns and The Shattered King, but honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, The Shattered King really does take the cake for me, honestly. And also let me know what's on your March TBR. I want to know if there's any of the books that I put on my TBR that are on yours too, or if you read them already, let me know what you thought. I obviously want to know it all because I'm a nosy. And if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that I post a new video. And if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment the apple emoji for Midnight Sun since I'm going back into my Twilight era. Drop those apples in the comments, show me some love. And with that, my beautiful darlings, let's get hooked.